So the first thing we want to do is go to the letterbox. Something in here we need. If you do not get this letterbox, then you... I mean, should we knock on his door? So we don't need to, but you won't open it because you can't hear it. You can't hear you. Excuse me. I love how there's subtitled the knocking. Just in case you didn't realise there was knocking on the door.
I don't think there's anyone home.
There's a light on upstairs.
What? Nico just TP'd. Weird.
Climbing drain pipes was something I preferred to avoid. Unless I had a great reason to do so.
I always remember him being able to climb this drain pipe. Maybe I'm thinking of another part of the game. I wonder. Anyway, let's furk around in his car. Or his van. Even though that's not a van. God, that car is a shithole, isn't it? My God. Is that whiskey? Going
Slasha.
Skull.
I popped open the van's hood.
It's not very, it looks very weird, this cab doesn't it?
I decided to leave the handbrake alone.
Ah, oh, damn it, I can't push his car away. That was shameful leaving his car open. It just looks very smudgy. It's quite detailed, but it's like, weird.
Not a sound. The horn wasn't working.
Thanks, George. Just in case you didn't realise, the horn's not working. So click on the bonnet. But we need to do this to trigger something.
The engine was held together by rust and dirt. Everything was covered in a sticky film of dirty black oil. Half the wiring wasn't connected to anything. It was clear why the horn hadn't made a noise. Neither horn pipe was connected to either the battery or the cab.
Hornpipe. What a strange word to say. Nice hornpipe you got there. So, I don't drive. I don't have a car, but I've looked at plenty of bonnets in my life, and I've never opened somebody's, like, did I say plenty of bonnets? I mean, I've seen plenty of engines in my short existence on this planet, and I've never seen one that looks like this. This is not even an engine. It's like they've drew certain parts of something and then just farted them all into this mess. Like, if there's a mechanic watching this, is this what an engine would look like? I've seen engines and I've never seen one. This doesn't even resemble an engine. It reminds me of those hidden object games where there's just like someone will open the trunk and it's just all this crap that you then have to search for some stupid, pointless item that your character needs. That's what this looks like. This kind of resembles a battery, I guess, but this, I don't understand how this counts as an engine. How would it even work? In fact, how would this car pass its MOT? Is crazy. Let's not go into that spiral of madness. Let's search the junk.
Piles of junk, mostly boxes of old paints and scraps of picture frames. Mixed in were wires, cardboard, and some dubious-looking old clothes.
So basically, we have to trigger this. You have to trigger the bonnet.
George Stobart.
Ah, Monsieur Stobart.
Oh, God.
I trust you have obeyed my instructions not to leave Paris.
Of course, Inspector.
Good. You clearly know which side your cookie is buttered. Now, I require your presence tomorrow at the murder scene for a reconstruction.
I see.
12 o'clock sharp, monsieur. Or, as you would say, high noon.
Sure.
Any failure to comply, and I shall have you extraordinarily rendered. Have a nice day now.
And you. That was Navet. We're required back at the gallery tomorrow for a crime scene reconstruction.
Let me guess. Non-attendance is a criminal offense?
You got it.
I would like somebody to explain what is the point of Inspector Navet. Like, he's obviously meant to be a comedy character, he says in air quotes, but he just comes off as being a massive dumbass. Like, this guy is hailed in, like, the French police as being, like, you know, I want to say Sherlock Holmes, but is he fuck? But at the same time, it just comes off as being stupid and dumb. Like, if this is the type of copper that they revere in France, good lord. Anyway, let's search the junk. Fuck, that guy's
found just what I needed.
It's just stupid.
2 lengths of wire.
Keeps trying to make funny jokes. High noon? Is this, you think, all Americans come from sort of like fucking 1800 Western point of time or something? Who says high noon? Like, really? What a fucking idiot. He gets my blood boiling. He's just not funny. He's not, I wouldn't even remotely call him funny. He just comes off as being stupid. Anyway, yeah, we need to open the bonnet to trigger the junk so we can pick up the, fucking open your inventory, you fanny. If you don't look at the bonnet, you can't pick up the long wire. Because George doesn't know he needs wire. So why would he pick it up? Gone are the days when you can pick up random crap off the floor and you're like, do I need it? Oh, it's not nailed down and I can pick it up, so I may use it sooner or later. Oh, that's what this game needs. Needs more randomness. Like, you can only interact with certain things when you trigger certain things. It's just like, it's boring. It's like, I don't need you to tell me if I need an item. I'd rather just pick it up. You could do that in Broken Sword 1. You'd pick up items you never use. But you've got it, just in case. You know, you pick up a spoon, you're like, I might need this spoon. You know, and end of the game, you think, oh, I never used that spoon. You think, oh, I still had it, just in case I needed to scoop somebody's fucking eyes out. But, you know. There we go. Go back into the bonnet. Inspector Navet.
Engine bay was...
Yes, it's not even an engine bay. I wonder if it's not any bay. It's not even a fucking engine. So, we need to get the horn to work to call... what's his face? Hobs. So you have to connect both horns, for some reason. I don't know why there's 2. To the battery. But we've only got 2 wires, so yeah. So you need to use the nail clippers to cut...
I snipped the wire in half.
One of the wires. Like, it's kind of obvious, but I'm not an electrician, and I don't know the first thing about tinkering with engines, even though it's kind of interesting. To be honest, I played what did I play? I played Car Mechanic like 2020. I put like 27 hours into that game, and I know absolutely nothing about cars. I just like opening shit up. It's weird. I've had that since I was young. I used to take everything apart, you know, just because I could. If I've got a screwdriver, I'm taking something apart. It's, yeah. It used to drive my mother absolutely batty. Guess that's what happens when you're a bastard. Anyway, listen to my... what was random shit I just said? Let's pretend we didn't say that. Anyway, short wire goes into the horn.
That wire wasn't long enough.
No. I didn't want you to click on the horn.
The wire was just long enough to connect the battery to the horn.
Then you use the other short wire to connect this wire to the wire loom.
I connected the wires from the cab to the horn.
Very nice. And then you use the long wire to connect both horns together. With the loose wire here and the loose wire here.
Everything was wired up. The horn had power.
And we can give the old horn a boop.
I figured that should get Hobbs' attention.
How this car passed its MOT is crazy.
All right, hold your blooming horses.
Morning.
What are you up to with my van?
Hello there. We fixed your horn.
So I hear. Now, what are you doing in my yard?
So, we can ask him questions, but unfortunately I forgot to do something. Oh shit, I did as well. Let's just ask
Are you
him.
Wilf Hobbs, the renowned restorer?
I might be, and I might not. You never heard of a telephone? I'm busy. Now hop it.
Yeah, so
Well, that could have gone better.
could have gone worse.
He's not exactly the friendliest of characters.
He's an artiste. Every artiste has a chip on his shoulder. So basically, you have to look at the letterbox. Otherwise, you can't tell him that you're here for... What was it?
It was Hobbs's mailbox.
Didn't you get a letter
Now,
from a modeling agency?
for a second, I debated the morality of mail snooping. It was a short debate, and I won.
Happens when you're one-sided debate. Go back here. Don't like how George can't run. It's not like he walks like he's got all the time in the world. So we'll open the
I
letter.
decided to open the letter.
Give it
Dear
a
Mr.
read.
Hobbs, due to previous incidents, we are writing to inform you that we will no longer be sending models to your address.
Huh?
It went on to discuss Hobbs's temper and other alleged infractions, some of which still carry the death sentence in certain less sophisticated cultures. Interesting. This could come in useful.
So yeah, you need the letter to say that. Oh, we're from the modeling agency, and it's gonna be like, oh yeah, come on up, and you're gonna be like, idiot.
I decided to give it another blast.
For crying out loud, will you leave my van alone?
Sorry, just need a quick word, Mr. Hobbs.
We're from the modeling agency.
Afternoon, Mr. Hobbs. We're from the model agency.
About blooming time. I'm on a deadline. You better come up.
Nice.
About time you two showed up.
Hello, Mr. Hobbs. I was just wondering if...
Can it, Goldilocks? I don't have time for chit-chat. Just get undressed behind that screen.
Hello.
Undressed?
That was the deal. An extra 20 quid because I need you with your kit off.
The studio was freezing.
And as for you, darling, no need to get undressed. I've got a vivid imagination, so I'll just use that. Either way, just go sit over there on that rug and give me your best 𝘨𝘮𝑒 floozy.
I thought she didn't say anything. She's just like, okay. But he wants George stark bollock naked, but not Nico.
That's perfect. Just hold it there.
Nico made for a good distraction. I just needed to figure out how to get a look inside that portfolio.
So the portfolio is this here. Look how big this looks. This wasn't handed to him from Madovsky. It was much smaller, wasn't it? It fit in that tiny little cabinet. There's no way in hell this massive fucking briefcase or portfolio fit in that little cabinet.
I didn't want to play around with the negligee.
Why not?
Those days are long gone. But I wondered who it did belong to.
Those days are long gone. Did we all want to dress up as women? Every man in the world, at one point in his life, put women's clothes on. It's inevitable. If you say you haven't, then you're obviously fucking lying. I have two sisters. They liked to dress me up when I was younger. Did I care? Not really. Did it fuck up my brain? Kinda. But you know, who cares? It's all love and war. Anyway, let's go behind the screen and take a kit off, I guess. Somebody's got to stand naked here. Take one for the team, George.
My, if it isn't George Stobart.
Lady Piermont. Oh,
I forgot about Lady Piermont in this.
You're naked?
Stalkers.
Of course. As an artist's muse, one often finds oneself en pelotas. Now, George, don't be shy. Come here and give me a big hug.
George is hitting it off.
that day was the day the nightmare began. Trapped, smothered, choking on lavender.
George,
Could be
darling,
worse.
pass me my robe. It's terribly cold in here.
Let's know who the negligee belongs to. Lady Piermont.
Oi, what are you doing with a blooming robe on? God help me, but you're supposed to be naked. I've got a deadline to meet.
Well, you won't be meeting any deadlines with manners like that. And besides, it's freezing in here.
What's Lady Piermont doing here is the question.
Lady Piermont and I had met before. She was larger than life, in every way.
It's crazy. Lady Piermont was the lady playing the piano in Hotel 𝘨𝘏 in Broken Sword 1. She helped us get into Khan's hotel room, who went by the name Merlin. Brings back good memories.
Wary of any more life-changing surprises, I decided against exploring behind the screen.
Just get your kit off, George. He needs you naked. There's literally no reason why you should be wearing clothes. I'd say that meeting Lady Piermont's probably like the funniest thing I can remember in this game. And I've only just remembered that she's in this game. Wow. Yeah, so if you remember in Broken Sword 3, there was a chap we met back in, oh god, where was we? Glastonbury. The colonel guy who had a shotgun called Purdy. And his daughter Melissa, I think her name was. From what I remember reading, Melissa is related to Lady Piermont. I think she's her granddaughter. So yeah. It's very nice. I mean, pretty sure Melissa mentions Lady Piermont. Or she calls her her aunt. Can't remember. Is it grandma or aunt? Just one or the other. Anyway, let's talk to Piermont. Come on, George. Stop with your candid animation. Fuck's
Lady
sake.
Piermont.
Oh, George, be a darling and sort the heating out in here.
Shame
I'll see
she's
what I
not
can do.
voiced by the same woman who voiced her in Broken Sword 1. So we can't touch the thermostat because he gets arsey. We can't go up the stairs because he gets arsey, because the warehouse is it's not very electrically safe. It trips the electricity box. So we'll give him some whiskey. We need to get him smashed. Apparently, like 3 glasses of whiskey is all it takes.
Mr. Hobbs?
Oh, don't mind if I do.
Could have put laxatives in there. That would have sorted it out. Then again, we do need to physically talk to him, don't we? Can't talk to him if he's shit-faced. I mean, you can. Probably not going to get decent information out of him. Better?
Hey! Leave that dial alone.
Sorry, but Lady Piermont is cold. I thought...
Look, pal, I know it's brass monkeys in here, but the wiring in this building is ancient, and the fuse box won't take it. Her Majesty will just have to get used to chapel hat pegs.
Lady Piermont, Mr. Hobbs won't let me turn up the heating.
Yeah, Mum, tell him. Dad won't let me put the heating on.
See about that.
Yeah. Because she walks.
Crumbs.
She's got a really shaped head. Massive.
If you do not adjust the heating, I shall refuse to cooperate.
Lady Piermont, it's the circuits. They won't take the strain. You know what old buildings are like.
In which case, I see no reason for this session to continue.
Whoa, Lady Piermont, let's not be too hasty. I'm sure I can accommodate your needs.
Good. Perhaps you can start by letting George here turn up the heating.
Oh, go ahead then, but be careful. The power in here is temperamental.
When do you get it fixed then?
I turned the thermostat up as far as it would go.
Oh.
I wondered if the suspicious wiring could be used to my advantage.
Thanks, Captain Obvious. Oh, it was only 2 glasses he needed. How is he going to paint when he's shit-faced? But you can't go up the stairs because he hears you. It's got creaky stairs. So we need to put the radio on.
An old 𝘨𝘨𝘮𝘴 stereo.
Pops and Wang.
Seen one of those for years. I turned the volume up a few notches.
And we should be able to go up the stairs now. Yeah, you will hear this song a lot in this game. This is, so they probably didn't have to pay copyright. I'm pretty sure the band is called the Hairy Lobsters and the song is called Jasmine. And I'm pretty sure the Hairy Lobsters was, probably... Maybe it's definitely something to do with revolutionary software.
Oh, you. Get down from there. You'll trip the power in the whole building if you're not careful.
Blowing the power would certainly have distracted Hobs, but the elevator alone wasn't going to trip the whole system.
Yeah, I'm sure this song is copyright friendly. That's right, George. Anytime today, mate. So we need to put Lady Piermont needs to stand on the lift. We need weight on it to trip the wire.
A word, if I may, Lady Piermont.
For you, George, I'm all ears. How can I help?
I'm gonna actually talk to her. Gonna be one of the very few people I actually talk to.
How did you come to be working with Mr. Hobbs?
Wheresoever a bohemian needs a helping hand, George, mine is always at the ready. And what better way to help than to expose one's flesh to the sensuous brushstrokes of such a talent?
Do you know anything about a stolen painting called 𝘨𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘪𝘳?
Oh, is this another of your adventures, George? How delicious. My heart's a tremor, George. Do you think Wilf is mixed up with this?
Maybe, but I need you to act normally until we're sure.
Mum's the word, Georgie.
So what have you been up to since our last encounter, Lady Piermont?
Charity work, dear boy.
Oh, any particular kind?
Young men, George. So many have lost their way. I try to guide them best I can.
Is that supposed to mean that she's got loads of men on the side, or it's something else? I kind of want to say that she's shagging loads of people, but I don't know. I think that's just my dirty mind. Anyway, get on the lift, lady.
Piermont, we need your help.
How thrilling! What do you need? Subterfuge? Legerdemain?
Actually, I just need you to step onto that lift behind you.
Oh, but of course. Is this good, George, darling?
Perfect. Now, just stay right there.
Now, I may be remembering this wrong, but I think Lady Piermont was one of the stretch goals from the Kickstarter that this game pooped out from. I could be wrong, but I remember that they were adding people as stretch goals, like guest appearances. I think Lady Piermont was one of them. I could be wrong, so yeah, grain of salt and all. Whoopsie. Question is, why does it need the light? It's already light in here. He does something weird when he turns the light back on. Look, he stands there and looks like it's humping the wall.
Chance.
I don't understand what he's doing. Hello? That ass looks familiar. That's the same ass that is on 𝘵𝘩𝘏's wall. I'm guessing that was 𝘵𝘩𝘏.
Hobs was good, but no way was he going to sketch me in the nude.
What? Why not? You got nothing to hide, George. We're all men. It's not like he's not seen a cock before.
More of Hobs' sketches. The model looked familiar.
That's definitely 𝘵𝘩𝘏. Yeah, that image right there was the first like image you see when you walk into that apartment. It's a booty. Booty.
Impressionist sketches. Well, it wasn't 𝘨𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮. But it did appear to be a study for an element of the painting, the Ouroboros. There was something different about the image in the center.
Yeah, it's different. It's funny how George says La Maledizione. He puts a lot of he puts the word dick in it, which is very distracting. You know, every man on himself, I guess. I love that.
I figured the sketch might come in handy, so I took it.
What the heck? I told you that portfolio was private.
Why?
Huh?
Well, that was fun. Just like when you were a private dick, George.
So, you're not models?
No, Mr. Hobbs.
Private
Well, you
dick.
can't be a copper. You're not stupid enough. So what the blazes are you doing in my studio?
You'd be surprised,
We're
mate.
investigating the theft of a painting, 𝘨𝘮𝘮𝘴𝘮, by the Spanish artist 𝘚𝘚.
Dixio.
One of these sketches is a study of that painting.
Well, sure, but what's that got to do with that? I'm a restorer, and I restored it. I've got naught to do with what happened after that painting left this studio. How was I to know it was going to get Henri killed?
Well, how did you know Henri was killed, and why did it need restoring? Did he... That's weird. Does that mean that he has an original copy and then he created a dupe? No. No, restoring something means that you restore it back to what it originally looked like, meaning that Madovsky must have, a picture of the painting before it was restored. Did he paint over something, or did he... Can't check the picture. Interesting.
Hang on a
I'm
second.
sure we'll find out
How do you
soon.
know Henri's dead?
Look, he and I went back a long way. Le Lézard Bleu was on the ropes, so I got the painting into his exhibition. Nothing like this was supposed to happen.
Oh. So we can be hard or soft. I'm going to be soft because... Yeah. I was hard on Madovsky because he's a prick, but this guy doesn't seem to really... I mean, he could be lying.
We're
Well,
not accusing you of anything, Mr.
You know,
Hobbs.
soft.
We just want to get to the bottom of this.
I get that, and I'll help you however I can, but this mess is way above my pay grade.
I can't ask him about this picture. George gets weird.
He probably wouldn't care.
Like, again, like... It's so weird, like... If you go play Broken Sword 1, you can show every single item in your whole inventory to these people that you speak to, and George wouldn't say, oh, he probably wouldn't care. Like, why give him the option of being able to show him a biscuit
I knew he wouldn't be interested.
if George is going to be like, oh, I really shouldn't show that him. Like this.
I'd just taken the sketch from Hobbs's portfolio. Now wasn't the time to hand it back.
Like, let me show him at least, or ask him what it is, or I don't know. It sort of removes it removes me wanting to show random crap to people, like the soggy tissue or the red nose from Broken Sword 2. You can show it to everyone, and everyone's like, dude, that tissue's disgusting. Looks like someone's blew the nose on it, and yeah, I don't remember anything like that in this game, which is sad, really. That's what the humor in Broken Sword like 1 and 2 was, just the random crap you could ask people or show them. But yeah, I guess they couldn't think of anything funny or relevant for the items.
He probably wouldn't
See,
care.
you probably wouldn't care. So let's just ask him about Madovsky.
We have reason to believe that Madovsky is mixed up in the theft of 𝘨𝘮𝘮𝘴𝘮.
Eh? What would he gain from stealing his own painting?
Money?
We have strong evidence that Madovsky is not the real owner.
You'll have a hard time proving that. Madovsky has a full set of provenances for the painting. It traces its legitimate ownership all the way back to the painter.
Well, why didn't Madovsky mention him?
Because they're not with him. Henri's got them. Or had them.
And Henri is dead.
So ask his partner.
Lane?
Lane, yeah, Lane. Look, pal, you're wasting your time looking for conspiracies here. And you're wasting my time if you're not actually going to get naked. Go get the provenance from Lane, and everything will turn out hunky-dory.
But it also puts Marquez's story into question.
Not my problem, darling. Now both of you get lost. I've got a painting to finish.
And we have a critic to interrogate.
Bye, Madam Piermont.
Someone's lying, but who?
The
Modowski.
gangster or the old Spaniard?
The painter or the art critic?
I need to head back for Navet's reconstruction.
What about the evidence from Medovsky's house? Will you give it to Navet?
I think I should. And I can put the squeeze on Lane. Ask him about the provenance.
Good. I've got lunch with Ronnie tomorrow. This story is hotting up, and I want to make sure he keeps me on it.
That's like...
Taxi?
You can't do that in London. Taxis don't come when you shout taxi. It's not how it works. Like, there's so many things wrong with this. Like, for a start, Inspector Navet thinks George is something to do with this robbery because he's a massive dumbass. Telling him about some Russian gangster who might be behind it would not interest Navet at all. We all, as players, we know this. Like, we know this, like, to be completely true. We're gonna go to the 𝘱𝘐𝘪𝘍𝘍. We're gonna, for some reason, do a reenactment of the murder because for some reason we need to know, or we need to do a reenactment, which we don't. And we're gonna tell Navet that, oh, he's, you know, it's such and such might be behind it. He's gonna say piss off basically, and then we're just gonna jet off somewhere else. It's so stupid. You don't realise how shit a game is until you replay it. Record 4 was just terrible in everything. I don't think anything good came from that game. It would have been nice if Anna Maria survived. Spoilers. And then she was in this game maybe as a cameo. But even then, would that make sense? If she and George were together, say, and for some reason, because in every single Broken Sword game, George and Nico, are they together? Or are they not? You know, it's weird. It's very weird. Why are they not together is the question. Who knows? Oh yeah, and it's obvious that Senor Marquez is the original owner for the painting. The necklace that he produced and the picture. I'd say are more evident to back him up than a Providence, which is obviously going to be fake. This guy's a fucking Russian gangster or something, and no, he's obviously faked it. We're not stupid. This game kind of makes us think we're stupid, but we're all very smart. So we need to go back to the gallery. I'm going to save it in case the game crashes because I don't trust it. So yeah, just give me 1 sec.